Good day, friends. Thank you for tuning to our commentary on Bible and science and apologetics. I have been repeatedly reminding my friends that there is no conflict between established facts of science and the statements of Scripture. I also have many times reminded you that statements of Scripture do not contradict facts of science. Or you may say, well, what about this? And my question is that a fact of science? Is that a fact of science? Is that a fact of science? That's the first question that you should ask. You may say, Dr. Philip, almost everything that goes by the name of science is a fact of science. No, not at all. Almost 90 to 95% of statements made in the name of sciences are actually theoretical in nature. Particularly if you leave physics and chemistry. But even in physics and chemistry, sometimes up to 95% of the claims are theoretical in nature. You may say, well, what about observation and data? Well, again, if observation and data is from a realm that is too tiny, too small to see, or if observation is from a place, something that is too far, so that people come to deductions on the basis of indirect evidence, then these things cannot be called data, but rather only as hypothetical deductions that need much more study before it can be called a solid, well-established data. Let me give you an example. The closest star to the Earth is Alpha Centauri. And for years they claimed that Alpha Centauri has a planet, and that planet was named as Alpha Centauri BB. And they claimed that this planet is very similar to Earth in size, mass, everything. They even went so far as to claim that there would be human life on that planet. And now comes the news that there is no such planet. They say that within the data, this planet was only a ghost. Now that's a very dear term to say that we misinterpreted the data and we found something there which was not really there. In other words, when they studied the data, when they calculated a lot of things, they came to deductions which were not true. Instead of saying that our deduction was wrong or false, the scientific term, or a very loving scientific term, is it was a ghost in the data. Let me be very clear and plain to you. It was an error. What was presented to you and me in the name of data was actually an error of calculation, or an erroneous result was presented to you and me as data. Today we know that there is no evidence for a solar system or for a planet which revolves around the nearest star or star nearest to the sun. That's it. I have been reminding my friends, whenever a question related to Bible and science comes up, the first question you ought to ask is that an established fact? Oh, people may say it is an established fact. But it doesn't become an established fact just because a few people claim it. There is a rigorous process, and you should learn to apply that process to everything that you hear in the name of science. And I want to assure you that no established fact of science has ever contradicted the Bible, and no statement of the Bible has ever contradicted an established fact of science. Yes, that's a fact. We will come up with more such commentaries in the coming days. Stay tuned. God bless you.